All right. Welcome everyone to today's DROM for Seniors info session. I am so excited for you to be here today because this is a very special program. And if you're here, that's amazing because your group is looking for more than just movement. They're looking for meaning, connection, and experiences that support their whole well-being. And that is exactly what DROM for Seniors is all about. It is this amazing combination of drumming the drum and mindfulness, the Om. And so that's why we call it DROM. And it is a very special month around here because we're running a promotion that we've never run before. We do not run often promotions at Stronger You. So if you've sort of been subscribing to our newsletter or you've come to info sessions before, you would know that we do not do promotions. So this will be something that you will want to jump on. And this ends May 31st. Every Drone for Seniors enrollment during this month is going to get a set of 24 drumsticks. So essentially that is all you need to run this program. You don't need balls, you don't need drums. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. But really, drumsticks is all you need to bring this program to life. So let's get into it. Let's talk about Drone for Seniors. So first, tell you a little bit about Stronger You Senior Fitness. We are the home for the DROM for Seniors instructor course. Stronger You is an education company, and we're actually the first education company of our kind globally. And so we do have established partnerships across the US, Canada, the UK, Australia, and New Zealand. And I am not the creator of DROM for Seniors. As I said, DROM for Seniors found its home at Stronger You. The creator of Drone for Seniors. Her name is Val Shaw. She's an incredible woman. And she, through a mutual colleague of ours, was looking for a home for Stronger You and said, hey, you should reach out to Emily from Stronger You. We got talking and I learned all about the program and instantly fell in love. The values, the mission is so aligned. And so that was just over a year ago now that we've had Drone for Seniors as part of the Stronger You Senior Fitness family. So what we do is we offer online instructor education and 30 minutes of monthly class content completely done for you, completely pre-choreographed, so you can just learn it and teach it to your group. We have now both the Stronger You Senior Fitness and Drone for Seniors instructor courses. And we'll talk about this more later, but we have this really unique focus on not just the physical, not just fitness, not just exercise, but using the 6 dimensions to create a whole person experience. And this is so true in our Drone for Seniors programming. You have those people who love to exercise and they will be at your exercise programs no matter what, but there are so many others who just couldn't care less. And they're like, I'll sit in my chair. I'm not worried about falls. I'm not worried about staying fit. I'm whatever age, they'll give you that excuse. But if we find out what's important to every single person, we can find a reason why they would enjoy a Drone for Seniors program. And Drone for Seniors, more than any other thing that we do, does not feel like exercise. So we'll talk about all that as we go through our session today. And so we serve specifically recreation, activity, and fitness and life enrichment professionals, primarily those working in senior living organizations, everywhere from skilled nursing, long-term care, assisted living, independent living, but also community-based organizations, senior centers, YMCAs, even gyms, right, are starting to offer more and more senior specialized programming as our population is aging. And we also have relationships with post-secondary institutions, so colleges and universities who build our education right into their curriculum. So students are graduating ready to teach high impact, high engagement senior fitness classes. And so our goal as an organization is to bridge the gap between knowledge and practice. So there are so many senior fitness and drumming based courses out there in the world. The big thing that we see as a gap though is you take these courses, you learn some moves, and then you're thinking, okay, how do I take this and put it into practice? And a lot of times that takes years and years of trial and error error, of building your confidence, of figuring out what works. And in the meantime, your group is not getting the best experience because you're still learning, right? And so that's our goal, is to take you from someone who is maybe this is, not your jam, to an expert in a matter of weeks. Or you might be someone who has a ton of experience. We have instructors with decades of experience, so many certifications, but they want that evidence-based, high-quality class content that just delivers right into their inbox that they can learn and teach to their group every single month. So whether you are on the brand new end of the spectrum or you are on the seasoned vet, decades of experience side of it, or anywhere in between, we have people who have taken the Drone for Seniors instructor course and are just loving the education plus the monthly class content that comes with it. I also spend a lot of time with associations, webinars, conferences, debunking misconceptions about aging and exercise. And this has never been more important. 2026 is a really interesting year because this is the year that the oldest baby boomers are turning 80. And so if you've, been in the senior fitness industry, senior living industry, senior care industry, you've probably heard the saying, the silver tsunami, right? The silver tsunami is coming. The baby boomers are aging, right? Well, as they're turning 80 this year, that silver tsunami is really starting to sort of hit land now. And we really need to do all we can to help this group, this part of the population, to age successfully, to have amazing experiences where it's not just good for their body, but social connection, their brain, and so much more. All right, let's get into the Drome for Seniors experience. I'll pause myself for a minute here because I forgot to mention you will get these slides at the end. So if you are a note taker and you're like, oh, I got to write this down so I can talk to my boss about it, don't worry. Amanda is going to send these out to you afterwards along with the recording of today's session. So you're going to get all of the slides. The second thing I forgot to mention is please feel free to ask questions in the chat as we go. We will have time for questions at the end, but please feel free to throw your questions in the chat at any point so you don't forget. Because if you're like me, I have a question, I tend to forget it if I don't ask it right away. Right? Okay, here we go. Let's talk about the Drone for Seniors experience. Every Drone for Seniors class is three parts. The first part of a Drone for Seniors class is our getting grounded practice. So this is the mindfulness. We kick off the class focusing in on tall posture, purposeful breathing, and connecting our body and mind to the present moment. Now, when we do this, it really sets us up for success. A lot of times you'll have your participants, they come into your class, they're thinking about, oh yeah, I've got to get the laundry in. Okay, I already hit play on the dishwasher. Okay, I have to, pick up the grandkids, or I need to do this. I have so and so coming to visit. Don't forget to mail out that birthday card. They have that whole list of things running in their head. And when that happens, they're not fully engaged in the exercises they're doing. And so they don't get as much as they could be out of the exercises. But the research shows us when we engage in mindfulness just prior to exercise, it brings us into the moment. It brings us greater body awareness. It allows us to be more effective in our movements, also allows for more safety because we're really focused on what we're doing. So our getting grounded practice, 5 minutes, and it's always themed. So, for example, one of my favorite themes of the 12 classes that you get as part of your registration is the theme of possibilities. Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of this now. Just sit up nice and tall in your chair, get kind of in a cozy position. And we would typically start with an introduction, letting people know this is our Drone for Seniors class. We're going to start by thinking of nice tall posture, a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And you can close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or simply just soften your gaze down towards the floor. And I want you to take another deep breath in through the nose and out. Very good. And as you breathe, I want you to imagine that you are standing in front of a wide open space. There's no pressure, no expectations, just openness. And this space represents possibilities, the understanding that there is always more ahead, always more available, and always more within reach than we may realize. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out. And as you breathe in, I want you to imagine that space opening up even wider. And as you breathe out, allow yourself to let go of anything that might be limiting you today. All right, we'll have to pause there. I know you're like, no, keep going. We could spend the whole class just doing a drone for seniors class today, but I just wanted you to give you a tiny taste of what that getting grounded practice is like. So we actually do start with the introduction. Then we go through our posture, a few more deep breaths. I kind of jumped right into it, right? But that's a sense of sort of those themes like possibilities, gratitude, inner peace, that sort of thing. Then, once we are fully in the moment, we are ready, we move on to the getting energized practice. And so, this is the main portion of the class. It is 20 minutes. This is the drumming. It's great for the heart, lungs, brain, muscles. We are working everything here. And we're going to talk more about all of the benefits of drumming in our next session. And so after we go through that main getting energized practice, we end with our calm practice. So again, another 5 minutes that we return to that calm, steady state. So the first 2.5 minutes is actually a beat that we build together with stomps and claps and slaps. And it's this really, really cool natural experience. And then again, we revisit that theme from the beginning. So going back in this case to the idea of possibilities and reflecting on what possibilities that we encountered today. How can we take that theme or that focus on possibilities with us as we move into the rest of our day, the rest of our week? So you get the complete scripts. This is sometimes something we hear is, I'm not really a mindfulness person. I'll be honest, before meeting Val and before being introduced to Strong or Drone for Seniors, I was not really a mindfulness person either. And I've learned so much about it. And it's something that you really develop into with your group if it's not your normal thing. If it is your thing, great, you're going to do amazing. But if it's not, don't be afraid. You get the scripts. You know, I know the scripts, but you can read the script right off the paper, okay? All right, let's talk now about the course. How do you learn how to become a Drone for Seniors instructor? So again, three parts. Part one is the methodology and the benefits behind the program. There is so much research and so many benefits from drumming. It is so good for our body, so good for our brain, so good for social connection, emotional regulation. I want you just to think about the simple thing of holding something tactile in your hands and then being able to hit something else with those drums. It is that feedback, it's that frequency of hearing us all drumming together. It is an experience like no other. And so the first part of the course is teaching you the why and the specialness behind everything that we're doing in the program. Part two is where you're going to learn about those key elements of the Drone for Seniors program. So the getting grounded, getting energized, and the calm portion. And you'll start to be introduced to each of those parts. The final portion is our guided practice module. So if you are familiar with the Stronger You Senior Fitness Instructor course, we've adopted the same thing for the Drone for Seniors, where they are short 20 to 30-minute practice sessions where you are learning your first Drone for Seniors class. Okay. And so this will take you through step by step. So you're not just doing it on your own, trying to figure out how do I learn this, the whole 30-minute class here, and preparing to submit your practical video. Okay, now this part, when I say practical video, freaks people out. They're like, oh my gosh, practical video, that sounds so scary. While I have you, let me put your mind at ease. The practical video is not as scary as it sounds, okay? We are not looking for perfection in the video. We are just looking to see that you're on the right track and it's going to be safe and that we can see that the coaching and the main movements of each track, they're getting there. And so we just want to see that the 10 items listed in the assessment are done at least 75% of the time, which means 25% of the time you can get off track, get back on track, and you will still get a perfect score. Okay. So Keep this in your mind. If you keep nothing else in your mind, do not beat yourself up. Do not aim for perfection when it comes to your practical video. Just show us that you're on the right track, and we see that as just part of your learning experience. And we'll give you feedback. We'll tell you what you're doing great. We'll tell you what you can continue to work on. And we know the more you practice and the more you do the program, the better it's going to get over time. Okay. Okay, I talked about at the beginning about the six dimensions of wellness. So, having something for everyone. This is so important, especially now that, as I mentioned, our baby boomers are hitting that age 80. So, this is the part where we really need to help keep our populations as healthy as possible. And drumming and mindfulness is a really great way for us to do it because it has inherently much more than just the physical benefit. So the physical benefit, yes, we're going to get that. Heart, lungs, muscles, we're engaging all of that through our Drone for Seniors programming. But drumming is incredible for the brain, specifically crossing the midline, learning the combinations, incredible for the brain. And you'll find that for a lot of older adults, they might not care about falls or staying fit, but they really care about their brain health. They don't want to get Alzheimer's disease or dementia or forget their loved ones or not be able to carry on an intellectual conversation. And so, if you know that that is what's most important to the group that you work with or someone in the group that you work with, it's important to let them know about the amazing brain benefits of the Drone for Seniors program. And you will find that you'll get those people who care about brain health to join your classes. The emotional dimension of wellness, emotional regulation through that purposeful breathing, that mindfulness, those reflections, also through the music that we use, especially during the getting energized portion. It's all going to be familiar music, music that they have great memories to, they had a great time to, they'll be singing along in many instances, and a lot of research showing us that we can exercise at higher intensities and for longer durations when we exercise to music that we really enjoy. So you can get more out of your group by using music. Vocation or sense of purpose. We know this as people age, they tend to be searching and in need of a sense of purpose. So, how do we help your group not just arrive and take the class and just be a passive participant, but how do we help you to create a community where everyone is part of the fabric of your class? And so, that's something that we focus on within the course is how do you give everyone a role to play? Social. Just because we're in a group doesn't mean we're being social. You know, we're in a little group today, but I'm doing all the talking, right? So we're in a group, but we're not being social. And the same thing can go for your Drone for Seniors classes. You're at the front of the room, everyone's staring at you, and we're doing our thing. So we really try to incorporate different things to help it become a more social experience. So, drumming on your neighbor's ball or, clicking sticks with your neighbor, getting people to look and see and make fun with their neighbors. It really kind of takes that programming to the next level. And then last but not least, the spiritual dimension, mostly through that getting grounded, that calm practice, but even during the getting energized session, doing those drum beats, that is really an active form of meditation that really also enhances that sense of spirituality as well. All right, the steps. We've talked about some of these so far, but here they are, nice and laid out for you. Number one, you're going to complete the theory portion of the course. So this part takes about 8 to 12 hours, and you can do it from any device. A lot of times we recommend people do this over about a 2-week period around their busy schedules, just kind of chipping away at it. Then you move on to practice your choreography, practice your first Drone for Seniors class, those short 20 to 30-minute guided practice modules. And that part takes about 4 hours. We typically recommend people do it over about a 3-week period. And that's just to allow yourself time between guided practice modules to take a little break to allow those memory consolidations to happen. And then you're going to submit your video. As we've already discussed, do not freak out about the video. We are not expecting perfection. We just want to see that you're on the right track. And then within 2 weeks of submitting your video, you are going to get your mark. And it's going to be a pass. You're going to pass. You're going to do great. There is no failing at Stronger You. So if you don't get a pass for whatever reason, maybe you do just need a little more practice, it's a resubmit. So you just go back to the drawing board. We'll give you some feedback about what you need to touch up on, and then you will pass. Okay. It's going to be fine. You're going to do great. And that unlocks then the 30 minutes of new seated and standing class content every single month going forward. Okay. All right, pricing. I think everyone today was from the US. So registration includes your enrollment in the course and 1 year of monthly class content. So the pricing is 370 USD or 466 Canadian. And that actually includes something called annual turnover protection. So this is important if you're thinking of enrolling an assistant or a colleague or someone else who maybe you work with in the course, but you're a little bit worried that they might not be around a year from now, 6 months from now, 3 months from now. You can send us an email and you can let us know that they're no longer with your company and that you just hired someone new, and we will transfer their enrollment to the new person at no additional cost. So we've put this in place so as many people as possible in your organization can become DROM for Seniors instructors. And we don't want someone leaving or that investment to be lost. So we feel really strongly about our annual turnover protection. We do have department discounts for teams of 3 or more. So if that's someone here, you have 3 or more, just reply to the email that Amanda is going to send out to you, and we'll give you a customized quote. Essentially, the more people over 3 that you enroll, the lower the price per person. And so we just try to keep it as affordable as possible for you to certify as many of your team members as possible. Right. Okay, coming to the end here. So, a reminder that for the month of May, if you enroll by May 31st, all enrollments will receive a set of 24 drumsticks. You can hit the drum running. When you get these slides, you can click on this slide. It will take you to the enrollment page. But I want to talk about this equipment. So we're going to do questions in a second here, and that's usually one of the questions that I'll often get is, what do we need to bring this class to life? Well, drumsticks, but you can use things like chopsticks. You can use household, kitchen spoons, household items. If you work with a group that has arthritis, maybe you're part of an arthritis association, using pool noodles that have been cut down to size are really great for arthritic hands to have a little bit of a wider grip on something. And then in terms of a drum, I think a lot of times when we think of drumming programs, we think of the big balls, right? The big stability balls, and you have them on a basket or a stand or something, right? And that's great if your organization has those already, or if you want to purchase them, awesome. But you really don't even need them. All you need is, if let's say you're doing a seated class, you'll have your group in their chair and you'll have another chair in front of them. A lot of times organizations will have chairs with some sort of padding on the seat already. And so that is your built-in drum. So let's say seated class, you have your group seated, you have another chair in front of them, and they are just drumming right on that chair in front of them. Let's say you're doing a standing class. Same thing, except you're going to drum on the top of the chair, okay? Now, the only thing we recommend, especially if you're drumming on the top of the chair, or if your chairs happen not to have like a padding or a seat, if they're plastic, if they're metal, instead of buying the big bulky drums, which are more expensive and kind of hard to store, just buying a small set of throw towels. So you can get them at dollar stores, Walmart, really anywhere at quite a low price, but just some sort of towel. You can even fold the towel in half and put that down on the seat of the chair, or this is obviously padded, but on the back of the chair. And so that will just help to dampen the noise because we know the more you work with older adults, the more likelihood there is of hearing aids. And the sound of drumsticks on plastic or metal is not the most pleasant sound. So you just need something to kind of dampen the sounds. Now, I think I saw, I think Maria said she works at a senior center. And so with uh, senior centers, they're coming in from the community. And so I've seen programs where it's like bring your own throw pillow. Or a regular pillow, and you just take the throw pillow and you put it on the chair. Bring your own, towel to put down on the chair. Even bring your own drumsticks. I had a group like this, and we had such a fun time, like seeing what people would bring in. We'd have a good laugh at some of the funny stuff that would turn up. So, uh, you're going to get the drumsticks if you enroll during the month of May, but you don't even need drumsticks, to be honest, in order to bring this program to life. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen in a second here. And we are going to do our giveaway for the 50% off enrollment. Two of you today, so great odds for who's going to win that 50% off. And then we're going to get to questions. So I think it's Lynn has put a question in the chat. So give me 1 second, Lynn. I'm going to come to your question here. Oh, thanks for the heart. Let me get the wheel set up. Okay, let me reshare my screen. Okay, here we go. Let's see, let's see. It's not official till we see the confetti. We have to wait. Maria! Awesome! Congratulations! Yay! So Amanda will have a special promo code for you in your follow-up email. Let me switch back to my slides now. And I will go to Lynn's question here now. Beautiful. Okay, I'm just going to open the questions back up. Okay. Okay. So Lynn's asking if we enroll in the program this month, can we delay starting? Yes, absolutely. So you said there's a lot going on, no worries at all. Yeah. So all of our programming is completely self-paced and the enrollment never expires. So definitely this month is an amazing time to get started, get those free drumsticks, but then feel free to work through it whenever you're able to. Yeah. Cool. Getting memory cafes going. Yes. Very cool. I love it. Good. Okay. Any other questions? Maria, any questions from you? And there's no limit on questions. I know people think like, oh, I already asked a question. Feel free to throw them in the chat or even just come off mute.
No, thanks. This was really informative. I really enjoyed your presentation. And we're looking
Good.
forward to getting this started.
Yeah. Awesome, Maria. Very
So,
good.
are there any other requirements that we have, like having CPR training or any other thing?
Yeah, great question. Not for us at Stronger You, but every organization has its rules and requirements of what they have. So if, the organization you work for wants your instructors to have CPR, that stuff never hurts. But yeah, just, look at your internal policies. We don't require it though for us. Yeah. Yeah, I know some organizations do put that on there. Sometimes though it's sneaky because they require you to buy it through them, right? It might just
Mm.
be another way of them making some sneaky extra dollars from you.
And I'm about to lose it. Is there an annual renewal
Great
process?
question. There is not an annual renewal. So we do have one for our Stronger You senior fitness course because that is a senior fitness certification. This is a continuing education certification. So we see it as something that adds on to your senior fitness programming. It doesn't have to add on. It can just be the standalone thing that you do. But we're always just listening to our customers as well. So at this point, it's going to be just your enrollment and your first year. And then after that, you should be pretty equipped to be able to mix and match and sort of build your own. But if once our instructors start hitting their 1 year, if they start telling us like, no, we want more, then we will just listen to you guys and we'll see what we come up with. But we will never require it to be additional years. So coming in that it's just one and done, lifetime access. Mhm. Yeah, great question. All right. My contact information, let me go next slide here. Actually, that's the contact, but you can reach Amanda or I. Amanda is going to send out the information following today's session, the slides, the recording, the links to get started. And so hit reply to any of those emails, and we're happy to answer any questions that you might have. I know how it is. You're hit end meeting and you're like, oh, I forgot to ask that one thing. So if that happens, just know that that email is coming probably within about an hour or so. And yeah, we're happy to answer any other questions that might come your way. All right. Okay. Congratulations again, Maria. And everyone, we hope you'll be joining our Drone for Seniors family. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.